No, because we need to talk about how hard it is to maintain three-person friendships. And I'm not talking about the healthy ones, but the toxic ones where the two people that are always just naturally going to be closer. So they'll be kiki and laughing, having inside jokes, and it's like they make that third person feel like they don't even belong on the planet.
If you feel bad because you see a bunch of people with large friend groups, just know that it's so fake. It's not real.
Big friend groups are literally only for the aesthetic. They're a complete waste of time.
There are so many friend groups and even just friendships between two people where you have like documented proof that they hate each other.
There's always a queen bee at the top who everybody has to pay homage to, and if you don't, you are isolated from the group. These women that are in these groups hide behind the clout and the visibility that being in a big friend group gives them.
Friend groups are just two people who are really good friends, have loyalty to each other, and everybody else is there to support that friendship and entertain that friendship.
I usually don't do good in groups because you think that everybody all cool in a group, but then there'll be a separate group. Then there'll be personal conversations outside the group. Then one day you'll see them hanging out together without you. What's going on?
Hey everyone, it's Bree. Welcome to my channel, and today I wanted to talk about friend groups. I saw this TikTok that literally sent me over the edge and triggered me so bad. I have talked about my, experiences with friendships and friend groups in my adulthood and also growing up in high school and middle school, and just a lot of the battles and the struggles that I have had to make friends and keep friends. It's just, it feels like we're just in this era right now where people don't know how to be friends, right? And of course it's not everybody. Like I have people in my life that treat me well now. And I have like a best friend and everything. So like I feel like I'm starting to curate my group of peoples, right? However, I came across this TikTok, and I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys the TikTok that I am referring to. And so as you guys saw, there were a group of friends that, came together because they were introduced by one mutual friend, and they have now cut off that person. And so, I saw this TikTok and I was like, okay. Now, initially, I thought, okay, maybe they cut the friend off because the friend ended up being toxic, or the friend ended up doing something to them. But then I go into the comment section, and people were actually saying that, like, they were messed up for doing that, seemingly, suggesting that the friend that introduced them, it didn't actually do anything to them. They just all, I guess, became closer as a unit. And so eventually the friend that brought them together got pushed out. And I saw a lot of people stitching this particular TikTok as well, speaking about their stories in regards to this and how they could relate to situations like that. And I saw that there were other TikToks as well of people literally like doing and saying the same thing. Like they had that exact same caption of, oh, us after, we cut off the person that brought us together. People have almost made it into like a joke. And again, if there was actually something wrong with that friend, right? Like if that friend actually did something to, mess up the friendship, or they just were really toxic and they actually weren't a good person, then cool. I don't have no issues with that. But if it was a situation where someone brought y'all together, y'all wouldn't know each other unless it was for that person, and y'all become close, and then y'all turn around and push out the person that was responsible for even helping you guys to meet, I think that's really messed up. And honestly, I just think that this goes to show that, like, again, we are in this era right now where people really are just terrible friends to each other. Like, people don't know how to treat each other. And I think the reason why this was so triggering for me and so many other people, right, is because you have those folks that are typically that person, right? The person that tries to bring everybody together, you know, trying to mix friend groups, mix people, and then you end up getting screwed over in the end. I will never forget when this happened to me multiple times, which is why I titled this video the way that I did, because this is a situation that I have been in numerous times since middle school, where I found myself befriending people, right? And then at some point we all become a collective friend group, and at some point I was always the one that kind of got phased out, and people started like treating me differently and started being mean to me. And then next thing you know, I went from having a bunch of friends to no friends. And you know, typically, you know, when that happens, right, people will often say, oh, well, you must have been the problem, right? And for a long time I did blame myself, right? Like, I did blame myself, because I was like, okay, like, why is it that every single time I try to have a friend group, it never lasts? And it typically doesn't last for me. Like, I'm typically the one that gets pushed out. I'm the one that gets, you know, removed from the group chat. Why does that keep happening to me? Especially because, you know, back in like middle school when that happened, and in high school too, like that was like a whole thing where like I had like a group of best friends, and you know, things happened, and then by the time I graduated high school, I literally didn't talk to any of those people anymore because they no longer wanted me in their friend group. They didn't want me apart. And you know, the running theme of all of these fallouts when it came to these particular friend groups, right, is that I was annoying and I no longer fit in with the group. It was always, you know, Bree is weird, Bree is not into the things that we are into, and Bree talks too much, and Bree is X, Y, and Z. Like, that's why for a very long time I struggled to talk, to speak to people. I think, you know, YouTube was a really big help for me in terms of like, you know, finding my voice again and sharing my opinions and thoughts with people, because for a long time whenever I would try to like talk to people, it was like people didn't want to hear me. People just wanted me to be quiet, and it was really disheartening, you know, when you're trying to make friends and you almost feel as though just simply being yourself isn't enough. And it's a weird thing too, right, because you would think that you being yourself is what created those friendships in the first place, but it's just something about when people get into a group setting and then you have folks that, you know, gravitate towards each other, you always have a person that ends up feeling left out, whether it's on purpose or not.
How do you know you're the dry friend? When you're the last person picked to come to the event. Somehow everybody knew about the event, but you learned about it the day of when they made the post and tagged you. My bad, when they sent you the post, they ain't even tag you. Every time you talk, everybody hits a big okay. Yeah, you're the least popular friend. When you suggest a place to eat and nobody act like they heard it. They heard everybody else with their suggestions. Subway, You've been saying Taco Bell for the past 20 minutes. Ain't nobody heard Taco Bell until Janet said Taco Bell. Then everybody like, man, Taco Bell. I said this 20 minutes ago. Somehow that one friend brought matching gifts for everybody and forgot yours. Somehow yours was different color than everybody else's. Oh, I mean, that was the last one they had left.
Getting ignored in a group chat is one of the most humbling experiences. If you're in a group chat with more than 3 people, you send a message, nobody replies, take it personal. Imagine walking into a room full of people, you say hello, nobody replies or even acknowledges you. I can't think of anything more oralist. I would rather send a message and have somebody reply telling me to shut the fuck up instead of just being ignored, bro. I'm in a group chat with 4 niggas. I send a message, takes them a whole day to respond. Oh, it took all of you, you're all busy. All of you are busy at the same time for a whole day. Fuck you, bro. Speaking of group chats, I can't think of anything more anxiety provoking than being added to an already established group chat. Sending a message in that context is so difficult. Imagine nobody replies. I will delete iMessage. I promise you, I'll never send a text message again. Asking a question in a group chat and having nobody reply, it's like, cool, bro, fuck me then. I'm gonna go stand in the corner and tell myself some positive affirmations so I can feel like I matter. Getting ignored in a group chat has to feel the same way as getting on a stage and trying to do stand-up comedy when you're not funny. No joke lands, nobody responds or laughs. You're just there demoralized. What do you do in that situation? I know what you do. You square up with every single person in the room room. You have to fight for your respect.
Because here's the thing. I understand that sometimes that can just happen naturally, right? Like, not everyone is going to have the same thoughts and views and ideas about stuff, right? And I do think it's very rare, especially nowadays, to actually have a genuine friend group where everybody's on the same page, everybody has the same interests, and everybody wants to do the same things, right? And so I do understand that you're going to have moments where people in the friend group, maybe they connect on certain things that maybe other people don't, right? But again, as I've seen people talk about on TikTok, as well as from my own personal experience, it always feels like, you know, everybody else is on the same page and then you just kind of get, you know, shifted out. And I think that's why for me, I am at a point where I don't even know if I really want a friend group anymore, or if I even have a desire, or shoot, if I even have faith that I'll have a friend group at this point. I think I still always have the potential to make friends, right? And I have friends now, but I've never been able to establish like a group, right? Like something that I've always like kind of been a little jelly of from other people is being able to be in like, not even just one group chat, but like I know people that are in like multiple group chats because they just have that many friends. And you know, I've also seen two people say like sometimes you have friends that just don't mix well, right? Because sometimes you can have the opposite effect where you bring people together and they don't get along, they don't mesh, and then it's just a whole thing. And you know, I've always admired the people that, you know, could have like 20, 30 friends and be able to have their little pockets, their little groups of friends. Whereas with me, because I've struggled so much to make friends and to connect with people, just because, I don't know, I'm a little different, I guess, and I'm into different things. It's hard even trying to maintain friendships on a, you know, one-to-one basis, let alone a group, you know, because even now, like I'm cool with people, but I can't say that I have enough friends to even formulate a friend group, right? And I think a lot of people struggle with that as well. Like just making friends as an adult is really, really tough. And some people don't even have enough friends to, you know, have a friend group to begin with. But also a lot of us have just been scarred from being in friend groups or being in group chats. Like I don't have a lot of good experiences with being in groups. Like whether it's from, you know, back when I was in school or even like past jobs that I've worked at. Like I've never done well in groups because for some reason I've just always been the one that kind of got ostracized and overlooked, and you know, it really sucks. And I think that's why too I'm like, maybe I'm just cool off of friend groups, to be completely honest, because the constant feeling of being left out, not fitting in, not feeling included, it gets to be a lot. And after dealing with that for so many years, again, all the way from elementary school all the way to now, like I've just never done well in groups, and there's always been issues with me and like how I've, you know, felt like I've been treated or feeling like I'm not being included in something. And it's gotten to a point where I've just gotten really exhausted of having this conversation with people over and over again, and seemingly with new people every single time, to where I'm just like, you know, I'm, of course, again, I'm always open to new friendships and new bonds, and especially with me being in a new city now, you know, I'm always looking to meet and greet people and to make new connections with people. But as far as like a friend group or a girl group, I just don't really see that being in the cards for me anymore, even though that's something that I've always wanted. I feel like a lot of girls like want that, right? You know, if they don't currently have that. A lot of women, you know, they yearn for that like close-knit girl group, right? Or even like that group chat, you know, where you're always like sending funny memes and talking about stuff and venting to each other.
You know, I would be lying to y'all if I told y'all I didn't miss having like a friend group. Like sometimes I see like things, and I can remember like as soon as I would see like fun activities or things, I would immediately like drop it in the group chat, and like within that week, like me and my girls would be like gone. Like we've been, you know, done the activity, planned our outfits. Like I do miss like stuff like that, because listen, not having a friend group ain't stopping no shows. Like I'm still traveling, I'm still doing everything, all the things. But you know, sisterhood or have a friend group to like enjoy things with, it is a different feeling. And yes, I have learned to enjoy things solo, but like having a friend group, it is a different level of like intimacy, like with your friends, and like just enjoying activities. So it's like an adjustment and stuff like that. But I do genuinely miss having a friend group, but not at the expense of my peace, you know? So it's like I do hope that God does circle me or like give me my own friend group again, like a group of girls who I literally can like enjoy life with, build with, bond with, like experience new things with, travel with. Like I want to experience that again. I don't know if that part of my life I've already experienced, so I won't experience it again, but I do miss that part of life.
I think a lot of us desire to have those type of connections with people, especially in large amounts. Now, when I say large amounts, I don't literally mean like 15 to 20 people either. Like it can be something small, like, 3 or 4 people. But again, because I have struggled to have that, and it's been such a headache, and honestly it's also taken a toll on my self-esteem as well. Like imagine every single time you were in a group setting, it just feels like everybody else is like here and then you're just over here in your little corner. And it's just, I think that's also why too, like I've become so like introverted as well, and that's why I've struggled a lot with social anxiety too, because I always get worried about being off-putting to people. And when I say off-putting, I don't mean like offending people or anything like that, but I don't know, I'm just always in my head about like, I don't want to come across as being weird, and I don't want to like, like rub anybody the wrong way. I don't want, like, I get so in my head about how people perceive me, because I feel like I've been perceived in a way that's just not great. And again, like, and obviously I can't help that I am who I am, right? Like I can't help the fact that I'm a nerd who loves video games. I can't help the fact that I am a homebody. I can't help the fact that I have, specific interests in things that other people may not, or vice versa, things that I'm not into. Like I've spoken about in the past how, I'm not a big partier or drinker or anything like that. I don't smoke at all. And sometimes even those things, like the fact that I don't do those things, can be off-putting to people. I've experienced that as well. I don't know if I shared this story on the channel, but like there was a time when I was in college, I think it was like freshman year or sophomore year. I'm pretty sure it was freshman year though. Like I was in a group of individuals and we were going to a party, and I don't know, I guess I give off the vibe too that I'm not like a party person, which is fine. It doesn't really bother me as much. But there was this one particular girl in the group that kept acting as if I wasn't there, to the point where she was asking, because I came with another friend of mine who lived in my dorm with me, and she was talking to my friend and asking her questions about me in front of me as if I wasn't there. And like I will never forget how that made me feel. And I've been in so many situations like that where I've been made to feel small or just not important, and I have not been properly prioritized in certain discussions. And so that's why for me, like I see TikToks like this, and it just really turns me off from even wanting a friend group, because you hear too many stories. Like even the stories that we've been seeing about friend groups going on vacation and then someone end up dead. Like we've seen that story time and time again, and the first thing that people say in the comments is like, well, where are the girls' friends? Like, where are they at? Like, why was no one watching out or looking out for her? And again, I don't feel like I have people in my life that would do me like that, but it's just to say that, like, because it's already such a struggle to find those people, and because of the history that I have had in friend groups where it is hard to feel a part and to feel seen, like that has been a constant theme for me in my entire life. And so that's why for me, at 25 years old, as much as I would love to have that type of group of people that I can talk to all the time, that I can go on vacations with, that I can do all of these things and actually feel heard and seen. For me, I'm at a point where I'm like, do I even want it anymore? Like, do I even desire to have that? And because it gets to a point where you get tired of having to teach people how to treat you. And I know that also I've been seeing a lot of conversations online, particularly with Black women, where if you don't fit a certain type of like aesthetic or vibe, or again, if you're not into certain things, you just overall have a harder time making connections, especially within our own community.
I don't be understanding y'all obsession with wanting to have a pretty friend so damn bad. A lot of y'all be wanting these pretty friends until you realize that you're not about to be the only one getting attention when y'all go outside. A lot of y'all be wanting pretty friends till you take them around your man and be wondering if he looking. A lot of y'all be wanting pretty friends until you realize every time she come around you, you get a little bit more self-conscious, realizing you might not be as secure as you think.
You make friends based on aesthetics, and now you lot have friendship problems, and you're bringing it to the internet to tell us. You make friends with people because, you know, your size, yeah, she's the kind of size that it would look nice when I stand next to her and take an Instagram photo, her size, her body shape. That's why you lot make friends. That's why you lot make friends.
I feel like a lot of women want friendship based on a certain aesthetic or look that they want to have on social media. And when I say this, I'm talking about, I've had a friend where she wanted to go to like nice restaurants and take pictures and stuff, but what was aggravating me was not necessarily, I don't mind going to nice restaurants and taking pictures and having a good time, but like the whole time we spent 2 to 3 hours just taking photos and making sure our angles was right, and I just genuinely wanted to sit down and eat and have a great conversation. And it was kind of like, oh, does this look good on Instagram? How does this look on Instagram? Should I post this one or that one? I was just getting tired. Like, every other time when it's downtime with that specific friend, it's cool, like, chill, great conversation. But in this particular moment, I'm spending almost like $200 on this damn food. I wanted to genuinely enjoy it.
Let's be real. Like, and again, whether it's, you know, the black community or other communities, like, you're always going to have cliques. And you're always going to have, you know, people that, you know, gravitate towards each other, which is fine. But it is unfortunate, though, that if you don't fit a certain type of aesthetic or vibe or whatever, people just naturally treat you differently, right? And maybe it's not always that they treat you bad, but they treat you differently and you feel it. Like, you can tell that you're being treated differently. And it's like the moment that you try to speak up, the moment that you try to say anything at all, then you get looked at as the problem. You get looked at as a person that's causing issues, and then people will start to distance themselves away from you because it's easier to do that, right? It's easier to just remove the person and act like they don't exist instead of facing those issues head on, right? Facing those assumptions and stereotypes head on and having that conversation and doing better. It's just much easier to just cut the person off, cut off the problem and the issue, and then, you know, keep them over there. So yeah, I feel for all the people that have been in these situations, that have felt mistreated, that have felt left out. Again, as someone that has been through that all from school all the way through adult life, I get it. It's really tough out here, and it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. I feel like it's not that hard to just treat people with kindness and to treat people how they deserve to be treated and how you would want to be treated. Like, I just don't think it's that hard, but people make it hard, and it's really, really unfortunate. And, you know, I'm glad that we're having these conversations, and hopefully we can lean back into community, because I know that's a really big topic among, you know, people as well. It's just this idea that we don't have a sense of community, and I think a really big part of that is the fact that we don't know how to treat each other, and we don't know how to hear each other out, and people don't want to do the self-work and the growth that is required to maintain friendships. Because the moment there's an issue, people would rather, you know, run than to face the issue head on and actually grow. You know, again, like, no friendship is perfect. Like, I've had issues in friendships before, and I always make an effort to, you know, do better and to have that conversation, but not everybody is equipped, you know, with that ability. And I think that's why you're seeing so many people falling out. That's why you see so many people struggling to keep friends and to maintain friendships. That's why you're seeing a lot of people talk about, you know, this loneliness epidemic that a lot of people have as well, both for men and women. Like, people are just, they're lonely, they're struggling, and it's just really, really tough out here. And so, you know, if you do have some solid folks in your circle, hold on to those people tight, because we are currently living in a world where community is going to be so important. I don't know what the rest of this year has in store, but I feel like 2025 has been very, very interesting, and people are trying to do their best day by day, but no one should have to live this life alone. People shouldn't have to experience life alone. And I've also seen, you know, like, an increase of people talking about having to live life alone, doing things alone, going out to eat alone, traveling alone. And again, nothing nothing wrong with doing that, right? Nothing wrong with doing that. Like, I'm even considering, well, let me not say it on camera, but even I am like, you know, heavily considering doing more stuff by myself, because it's like, if you try to wait around on people to do right, or again, just meeting the right individual, sometimes you'll just never be able to do and experience certain things. So I do think it is important that you are comfortable enough within yourself and that you know how to enjoy your own company. Also, I'm so sorry about this light and this blind. I'm trying to like duck and dodge the light. But anyway, I say all that to say, yes, it's important to enjoy your own company and not solely rely on other people to make you happy, but also everyone deserves community. Everyone deserves to have folks around them that they feel comfortable with, that they can enjoy life with. And I just think it's really unfortunate that so many people are struggling to find that. And I hope that that changes soon. And, you know, I hope that it does not take some sort of travesty or devastation for that to happen, because I've also seen that circulating as well, that it might take something really, really bad to happen for the country to come back together. I really hope that's not the case, but either way, you know, if you're watching this video, just take this as your sign to, you know, pour into you, pour into community the best way that you can, because regardless of what people say online, I feel like, you know, we all need each other and we could benefit from supporting each other and being there for one another. But yeah, those are my thoughts on this topic. Let me know your thoughts on the topic in the comments down below. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you guys go ahead, give it a big thumbs up, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next video.